We're back. Yeah, Sansa Bibim. This is MrNiiMer. You can call me Niimer. And I don't know what to name this series, but let's just say MrNiiMerGeeks. So I'm going to geek over new things now. Um, so I have been a fanboy of Samsung for a while now. I think the first Samsung device I used was the one with the fingerprint sensor in the home button. Uh, which Samsung had the first fingerprint. Oh snap! That was the S5. Oh okay, Samsung S5. Samsung S5. So this is the first Samsung device that I had with a swipeable. And I remember, well, I wasn't really a big fan of it. I remember what actually caught my eye was the gallery app, and then how it had those flowers kind of thing on there. But I wasn't really a big fan. So I think from there, before that, I had been like an iPhone fanboy or an Apple fanboy. I had used the first iPhone I used was a 3GS, and then from there, like I almost got almost every edition. So I think the 3GS, the 4, the 4S, the 5, the 5S, the 6. I never used the 6 Plus. The 7. I never used the 7 Plus. The 8. I never used the 8 actually. I never used the 8. But yeah. So the Samsung was the ish back then. I remember when the Galaxy started coming out, people were really like into it. But then yeah, I was an iPhone fanboy then. So maybe I think let's say like 2021, 2022. Then I was like, okay, let me try Samsung back again. So I got the S10e. I went in for the S10e, the one that had the fingerprint on the side. I don't know why the fingerprint was such a decider for me when it came to Samsung phones. But yeah, so this is the S10e. I remember the one that I had was the blue one. The one I had was the blue one. So if you don't know, this is a site called GSM Arena. So GSM Arena is literally like the website for almost every device out there. You can go and then it gives you a breakdown of almost every little detail that you can think of when it comes to like mobile devices. When you come, you literally have these options. So there are review options. They are just opinions on the phones. You can compare phones to other phones. So when you click on compare, it gives you the chance to search for two other phones. So you can do that, or you can look at pictures of the phone. So let's say this Samsung, for instance, I can literally look at pictures of the phone. So this is the one that I got. This color here. So this is the one that I got. And then you can actually try out a 3D model too. So the 3D model will literally like you can look at almost everything that's important with the phone. So now all of this just takes me back to Samsung now releasing the fold versions of their phone. So I think it was three versions. And what is this? What is this pre-interest? What is pre-interest? So what does pre-interest do? So pre-interest that's what. So we got the Z Fold. I actually wanted to see if you could see. Okay, yeah. So we have all the three models here. So there's a Z Fold 8, there's a Z Fold 8 Ultra, and then there's a Flip. So I think maybe Samsung started doing these foldables. I think maybe 5 years, 4 years ago, maybe longer. Let's see. When did Samsung do their first fold? Uh, okay, so 2019. Okay, so let's say like 7 years ago. Um, So yeah, they came up with these three models. So there's a Z Ultra, Z Fold 8 Ultra, Z Flip 8, and then a Z Fold. And this one here, the Ultra is like the sandwich phone. The Z Fold 8 is the passport. Then the Z Flip is, I don't know, the wallet or purse or whatever. So these are kind of the key specs. I don't know if you guys see it, but okay, yeah. So the size is 5.5 inch for the Z Fold 8. The Ultra is 6.5, and then the which one is this? The Flip. Sorry. So the Flip is 4.1, and all of these are being measured from the first displays on uh, the devices, and then when you open them, the Flip is 6.9, the Ultra is 8 inches, and then the Fold 8 is 7.6. Now, what I actually wanted to talk about was the processors. So all of them have the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy. Oh, okay. The Flip has an Exynos 2600 customized for Galaxy. Uh, let's see if we can get some information on that. So search. So the Exynos. Oh well, we are already here. I don't even know why. Like I'm going to fold. No, no, Flip 8. So the Z Flip 8, and then I'll compare it to the Fold Ultra. Z Fold Ultra, and then the Fold 8. Okay, so let's compare these two. So, like I said, it literally gives you an unfolded and then the folded. So, dimensions, weight, and then all that, when they were made, the technology behind the connectivity and all that, the SIMs that they can all take. So, a nano SIM. So, nano SIM is the small one, and then you can pair it with an eSIM. So max of two at a time. So you can either do nano SIM plus eSIM or eSIM plus eSIM for both of them. The ratings, the protection ratings. So you have an IP48 dust and water resistance and all that kind of stuff. So type. So this is the display. This is the body. This is the launch. This is the network technology. So display, a foldable dynamic LTPO AMOLED 2 times. So 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR 10 plus, 2600 nits peak. So which one is this? The Ultra. Uh, this would have been better if they kind of like put. So the Ultra has 3000. The Flip has 2600, and then the Fold 8 has 3000 as well. But yeah, so the platform literally gives you everything about the CPU. So a platform which OS you can take. So they all are coming out with Android 17, and then up to 7 major Android updates. And then you also have one UI 9 for all of them. So the chipset here is a Qualcomm. So it's this is the Snapdragon 8, but then this is like the numbers for or the type of CPU it is. So this is literally the CPU. So okay, but here it names all of them. Oh, okay. So like I said, the Flip can either come with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite in the US, Canada. Um, what does CN mean? Search for CN. CN is not Cartoon Network. CN country. Official two letter and I so forward. Oh, okay, China. Really? Okay, so US, Canada, China, and then what is row? Ro is the vegetable English name for a line. No, Ro as in country. So Ro is not a single. No, I know that. Oh, Google so we and you. So you can either get the Exynos or the Snapdragon with the flip, but the rest you're also going to get there. And to be honest, most of the Exynos CPU they are bad. They are just bad. So this is the chipset. So the chipset is also known as the SoC or system on chip. So what normally happens is the CPU, the memory, the GPU, and then everything it gets bounded together into something called a system on chip, and then the network too. So the modem and all of that kind of stuff, it gets bounded. Storage and everything gets bounded to something called a system on chip. So the system on chip is the Snapdragon S Elite Gen 5, but then the CPU in there is ARM. So ARM is a company that makes like CPU. Snapdragon also makes CPU, but Snapdragon makes system on chips, and then ARM makes the actual like CPUs. So when you go to Qualcomm Snapdragon, they will get you your memory and everything that needs to be on the chip. They can do that for you, but then ARM literally just does like the CPUs. So all of these are ARM CPUs, and then Adreno is like the GPU or the graphics card. So that is also under Qualcomm. So all of these get bounded together. So this is new, but yeah, Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 8, the Z Fold Ultra, and then the Z Fold 8. These are the new additions to, but they will actually release the Galaxy line too, like the actual S, right? So Samsung Galaxy S20 or S26 or S27, they will release that later, but then this comes in as like the starter. So you get the Fold Ultra, 8 Ultra, the Fold 8, and then the Flip. Now, the reason I actually wanted to talk about the CPUs was that there's this thing going on where it's like Samsung doesn't want people to be able to benchmark, right, the CPUs. So let me save this and then open it so that so as you can see, can't install Geekbench 6, can't install PC Mac, can't install 3D. So all of these are testing softwares for the CPU or benchmark softwares for the CPU and then the GPU. So Geekbench, PC Mac, and then 3D Mac. They all 3D Mac I think tests like the GPU, PC Mac tests the SoC or the system on chip, and then the CPU. Geekbench does that too. But then from Marquez, so if you don't know Marquez, Marquez is MKBHD. So Marquez MKBHD, yeah. I think through his testings, right? So anytime like a new phone comes out, he tests it for a period of time, and then he will do a review, and then he's saying this. So I don't understand why Samsung doesn't want that to happen. But yeah, these are new phones. Um, I think people are also into the cameras. So if you have any of these phones, so the Fold 8 has a 50 megapixel wide and then a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and then the ultra has a 200 megapixel normal wide, a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and then a 10 megapixel telephoto. So telephoto, any camera that says telephoto is literally a camera that can zoom in. So if you search for telephoto, for instance, yeah, so telephoto, a lens with a longer focal length than the standard, giving a narrow field of view and then a magnified image. So telephoto literally means you can zoom in. So a telephoto lens is a specific type of camera or optical lens that features a long focal length and then a narrow field. It's primarily used to magnify distance objects, compress the distance between objects in a scene, and then create a shallow depth of field. Shallow depth of field for soft background blur. So yes, so the It's also going to come with a 50 megapixel normal camera, but it has been widened, and then an ultra wide that is 12 megapixels. So if you are into pixel count, I think everyone will go for the full ultra. So I think that would be cool. And then these are the front cameras. So the front cameras have 10 megapixel, 10 megapixel, 10 megapixel. So cover is the camera on the outside, and then there's a main one on the back. That uh, there's a main. Sorry, so the cover is the one on the outside, and then the main one is the one when you unfold the phone inside it. That's the camera there. So there's that. So like I said, optical and then all of that kind of stuff. Aside that, they're all going to come with Galaxy AI, and then the battery. So the Ultra is going to have 5,000. The Flip is going to have 4,300, and then the Fold is going to have 4,800. Yes, the Fold is going to have 4,800 milliamp hours, and then like I said, and the displays. These are the resolutions. So this is a full HD. Really, it's going to be full HD. Okay, the front is going to be full HD, and then the Fold is going to have a 1972 times or by 1248, and then this is going to have this, and then when you open it, you're going to have all of these. So that is that for the new Samsung phones out there. Again, I used to be like an Apple fanboy. I wasn't even really into most of their other stuff. I just loved the iPhones. And then I loved them because of the apps were working great on them back then. On Android, it was kind of like nonsense back then. But yeah, then I converted to Samsungs, and I've loved. I think from the S10e, I went to the S20. Um, I used the S20 for a while. Then I went to the S21. I've been using the S21 for a while, and then I had a problem with the screen. And they were telling me if I was going to repair the screen, I had to bring like 2K for the screen. So then I was like, nah, I can just simply use the 2K to go and buy another phone. So then I went to buy an S21e. So I'm now using the S21e. The S21e actually has an Exynos SoC in there, and it's very bad compared to my S20, which is like a year back. Like the S20 with the Snapdragon is way better than the Exynos in the S21e, and it's even supposed to be better. So I'm even trying to maybe I'll root it and then maybe install a new kernel or something, and then see if it can get it to be better. So again, this is the lineup for the new Samsung phones. In a while, they will bring out or they will outdoor the new Galaxy S phones too as well. So we are looking forward to that. Thanks for watching this. If you are, subscribe, like, share. If you're on Instagram, follow me. It's MrNiiMerGeeks. So MrNiiMerGeeks. So it's MrNiiMerGeeks everywhere. You can actually search for it on everywhere actually. So Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, and then YouTube as well. So thanks for watching.